This should be fun!
Family don't end with blood.
I regret this already.
Hello? Not an idiot. See ya!
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
Give him the bits! The bits! The bits!
The things I do for love.
I will never, ever turn my back on people who need me. Cartoons.
This episode contains themes of ensuring that your friends have a positive and accurate image of themselves. Have fun and know that you're beautiful.
You promise?
Are you sure?
It was very alarming.
Yeah, but again, we picked it up like smooth criminals.
I was very proud of us.
Ugh.
So,
Hello.
Hi.
hi.
Welcome back. Wait, that's not my line.
Yes, it is.
No, I said...
Welcome back, everybody.
You
Oh
usually
my-
say welcome back to Why Should I Watch That? And then we go, Why Should I Watch That?
Why should I watch that? What's going on?
I don't know. We got brain scrambled earlier, and we were all okay. Hold on, let's do a vibe check real quick. Hold on,
Hold on. I gotta...
Myra. Okay, the vibes are. Oh wait, 2 out of 3. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. 2 out of 3. Okay.
Weird vibes.
The vibes are not on point. In case you would like to vibe check your friend group, play rock, paper, scissors. And if one of you happens to get the only winning combination and the others only give the losing multiple times in a row, your vibes are off in that direction.
Yeah.
Alternatively, if you get weird results both times and not like an everybody misses, the vibes are probably off.
Is it because
Our
we're
vibes are
recording on a Friday?
I don't know.
It could be. It's a weird day to First of all, we're recording on a weird day.
Uh-huh.
We're recording at a weird time. We usually record earlier than this.
Yes, we are recording a lot later than normal. And I have a teensy bit of alcohol in my system.
Oh, same. This is like extremely abnormal for me too.
I am sober.
Yeah, so I might be... Why are you staring at me like that?
Like what?
But the vibes are back in check. Sam has regained their anxiety.
No, it's not even anxiety. It's just they're staring at me like angry big sister.
Hey,
Like disappointed big sister. Like
Myra, guess what? That's my resting face.
Hey, Sam. It doesn't change the vibe. Anyway, who are we?
I'm Myra.
I'm Sam.
I'm disappointed, but not surprised.
Look, at least your pupils aren't like
Okay,
super
the
dilated.
sunglasses are back. That's how we know the vibes are back. Okay. And welcome back.
Oh,
So why should I watch that?
Why should
Why
I
should I
watch
watch
that?
that?
We're just doing everyone's fucking roles this time. I don't
I
even care.
know.
We're pushing through.
We're pushing through, powering through.
You know what? It started with me being the sass master this afternoon. Like for some forsaken reason, I was.
I was mellow.
Yeah, Myra stole Sam's energy, Sam stole my energy, and I got a mix of both of theirs. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, it's been a interesting. Maybe it's the fact that we're, you know.
Maybe it was the pink full moon.
Yeah,
The what?
pink full moon.
Pink super full moon. It was the super moon.
And we
Superman.
didn't look at it? We were outside. We walked.
No.
No.
It was a few nights ago.
Okay, that doesn't count. It has to be tonight to fuck with you. Okay, well, listen.
It's remnants. We didn't see each other when the full moon happened.
Anyways, what are we watching this week?
Howl's Moving Castle.
Howl's Moving Castle, you guys.
Oh my god, this is like my... Okay. When we talk about nostalgia, this shit right here.
Comfort film.
Oh my god, I could watch this over and over and over again. Actually, I have. We're not
Wait,
going there.
wait,
We're
wait,
not
wait,
doing
before-
A Nightmare
before-
Before Christmas.
Oh, it's okay. It could be in first impressions too.
First impressions? Okay.
Because I figured that's where she was heading. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't setting up a... Well, yeah, sort of.
I was worried you were about to get onto a tangent.
I was just
About-
gonna
I was
say...
talking about the topic.
No, she was about to go on to comfort films.
No, I was just saying that I'm not going to say how many times I've seen it, because then we're going to get into a whole argument like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Are you sober? You had one sip.
No. See, okay, so I am sober. The problem is I've been up since 3:30 a.m.
Wish you were sober.
Won't you help me sober?
Okay, never mind. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yep,
So
that's
how many
all.
times have you seen it, Myra?
Today?
This week.
Okay, that actually saves me. This week I've only seen it twice.
I've only seen it twice ever.
The last 30 days?
Don't bully her.
This is a friendly inquisition.
Last 30 days.
That's not a good sign on your part.
No.
Hold on. No, it's been April. So, ha. 7.
So I think that tells you all you need to know, beloved listeners.
It's still technically April, so I couldn't say, like, none.
Yeah, for another, hour.
So,
In the arms of the April, turn to May.
It's gonna be May.
All that I do. Anyway.
Don't look at me like that. It's a meme.
yeah.
Anyway, so first impressions. We've all seen it before.
Yeah, we've all seen it before.
I don't think we have any.
Yeah, there
That's
wouldn't
why
be-
I was just letting Myra do what she was doing earlier.
Yeah, no, I was just literally saying... yeah.
Okay, so...
Fun stuff!
Yes, fun stuff.
So,
Nope, I'm cutting that. Don't even try to save it. Just let it pass. Myra, you good?
I'm back. Maybe.
oh, I'm sober.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway,
So, before we jump into anything, super, plot oriented, do we have any, interesting things? Because I do, but I don't want to go first.
so I know the source material.
I've read the book.
Oh, you read the book? I listened to the audiobook.
Both. I've read the book and listened to the audiobook.
Our local romance expert has read the book and the audiobook.
I will say, if we want to just jump into the major differences between the book and the movie.
I like the movie better.
There are elements of the movie I like a lot better.
Yeah.
I will say I like the characterization of the Witch of
Witches.
the Waste
Yeah.
so much better in the book. She is actually a proper villain as opposed to this.
Mingy old lady.
Oh, can we save that for a minute? Because I have words about her that I think might change your mind.
That's fair.
Let's not, all I'm saying is let's not dive too far into her. I've got...
Okay,
No, but
I
no.
was just gonna say what she does in the book.
I know, I'm trying
No,
to
what he
shut
said.
myself up.
What he's trying to say is, maybe we should just name the differences, and then we can just debate them.
Yeah, so she's more of a proper true villain as opposed to a commentary on the well, her demon is.
Yeah. I actually personally, I don't know if it's because I can see it, and I actually saw the movie before I read the book, that I enjoy the movie a little bit more, or because of how beautiful the movie is.
Oh, yeah. Any differences I have to say about the book versus the movie is in no way discrediting the absolute work of art that is Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah. I think the one thing that I found very interesting is the whole Sophie's sisters actually have a more of a role to play.
I loved that though.
I wish they would have kept that.
Yeah, because they have Lottie show up in one scene.
But she doesn't just have Lottie; she has two sisters.
Yeah, she has two sisters. So, and one thing I really found interesting about the world we find ourselves placed in is that the oldest sister is doomed to live an ordinary life. That's the expectation and stereotype within this world. And it sets up such a an interesting reflection from our present world and the world we find ourselves placed in, because so very often the oldest sister does have to take on the responsibility of the family, raising the family, making sure the family has some sort of legacy. They can't pursue necessarily what they want to pursue because they have to be perceived as this responsible rock. And I think that's
Yeah.
Whack.
But yeah, I would say that the book is very good.
Book
The
it-
film is. I love the film.
You done with the book?
Yep.
Okay, so I have a couple of quick things about Miyazaki himself and some things that might actually have influenced the way that this film was made. If you know anything about him, you know that a lot of his early life kind of has helped pilot some of the other movies that he's done, because he grew up in the midst of World War II, and he and his family actually were forced to evacuate multiple times and jump cities from bombings that were happening to keep them safe. And that was, I did a report on him in college, so I also have a Wikipedia page up, shut up. But it's something that really influenced his later art. I don't remember what the movie's called, but he did a movie specifically tailored around that, his experience during World War II and the things he remembers. Grave of Fireflies?
Yes.
Yeah.
yikes.
So it's interesting knowing that in retrospect, going back and rewatching Howl's Moving Castle, because one of the big catalysts in the movie is the bombings.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting that when adapting it from the book, he made that be the main enemy rather than the witch.
Yeah.
Because it's flavored in a very Miyazaki way because of that choice.
Oh yeah, it's something that really it becomes much more a commentary on the military machine rather than a lust for power and how it corrupts you.
You know, the casualties of war.
Well, because so the war isn't really mentioned all that much. It's more of like an inciting incident and subtle plot points. Because the witch of the Waste also has a fire demon like Calcifer, but because she is A, so much older than Hal, and B, has been connected to her fire demon for so much longer, it has literally taken over her body, her mind.
Yeah.
Neat.
And she's trying to create the perfect being in the books, which is really fucked up. Because she kidnaps a sorcerer, the prince, and she's trying to kidnap Hal to make the perfect being to rule by her side as king.
Yeah, she's weird. One thing I do know, fun fact, I do know, I can't remember if it's for this movie or for another one that we are going to be doing. But the background buildings, the architecture that they build for it's actually, I think it's for both of them. I think this one is inspired by Swedish architecture.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I do know, this is from a long time ago, but I do know that they went really in depth into, especially his team and everything, to make sure that they put the correct amount of details into the architecture.
Right.
They did not want it to feel like any other, and this is true to any
Miyazaki
work.
He goes balls to the walls every time.
Yes.
He does not know chill.
It's why his films take, 8-ish years on average to produce.
Yes.
Yeah.
But with all of that being said, let's go into the actual information.
Oh,
real
yeah.
quick.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then we'll go into discussions.
Super brief stuff. Let me pull it up.
I didn't know. Oh, he is Howl.
I didn't watch it in
forgot.
English. I'm sorry.
I watched the English.
I've only ever seen the English. It's weird.
All right, so real quick, here's the summary of the movie. Sophie has an uneventful life at her late father's hat shop, but all that changes when she befriends wizard Howl, who lives in a magical flying castle. However, the evil Witch of the Waste takes issue with their building relationship and casts a spell on young Sophie, which ages her prematurely. Now, Howl must use all his magical talents to battle the jealous hag and return Sophie to her former youth and beauty. Baboom.
So, an interesting note for the budget. It cost about $24 million to produce. It made back $236 million worldwide. And just in Japan alone, so the Japanese budget was 2.4 billion yen, and it made back 23.2 billion yen. So, an all-around brilliant success.
What, it made like 10 times, just about?
Almost 11 times. Over 11 times.
Nice.
The author of the book, for those who don't know, is Diana Wayne Jones. The music, the wonderful, wonderful score, is done by Joe Hisashi. Its runtime is 119 minutes and can be found on HBO Max, along with where else?
You can buy it on YouTube, and you can also buy it on DVD.
Yep.
Yep.
I think for those who are like special collectors or anything like that, Best Buy has the
shiny cases.
the steel cases.
Ooh.
Yes, I've been collecting them.
Oh, surprise, surprise. The collector in the group has been collecting the things.
Shut up.
All right.
But yeah, that's the main information of note.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, plowing straight on through. I really liked Miyazaki's art style is always super unique, but I really liked the way that the characters kind of had a consistency throughout them.
Yes.
I guess it's a hard thing to kind of verbalize when you're talking about a movie around like everyone, but the older Sophie looks like Sophie older.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it also kind of looks like Yao Baba from Spirited Away, but we're not getting into that.
Yeah, there's a couple of frames, and you're like,
He draws old ladies one way and one way only, but you know what? They're valid. And she had enough defining features to kind of bring it back.
Yeah.
Also, the amount of detail that went into her fucking hands and face during that first transition.
yes.
Dude, the amount of detail, like
And that scene's almost verbatim by the book.
yes, it is. But the amount of detail, and this is the only reason I bring this up, if we're talking about detail, is because I literally rewatched it this morning during work. I was like, fuck, I'm going to be on hold for 2 hours with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Might as well watch Howl's Moving Castle. And rewatching it, and I mean, I've seen it on... this is the only one I've seen in theaters.
Oh.
Because when AMC was doing the Ghibli month, I actually managed to go see it, which I
I
was
remember that.
super excited about.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to go all month, and then I missed them all. Except House Moving Castle.
That's a good one to see if you're going to see one.
Yeah. So seeing it in the big screen, seeing it on my phone, and seeing it on like just a regular
Computer,
TV,
yeah.
the amount of detail that is just in the background alone
I was looking
is
at yeah.
stunning. Sorry.
No, you're good. I interrupted you.
It's like super, absolutely stunning. Like that opening scene.
Yeah, the
you
Mayday scene.
Yes. And you see just Sophie walking into her like hat shop. Just the detail and the cracking in the building. You feel like you could walk into the screen and be there.
Yeah.
And it's a cartoon.
Yeah, the smudges on
Or
the glass,
anime.
the little cracks in the sidewalk. Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely amazing.
Chef's kiss.
Another thing, if you're done.
Yes.
Another thing I loved about Sophie's character design is as she starts to break the curse, you see the little things of her youth returning to her. Because, like, when she first gets transformed, she's, like, all hunched over and, like,
She's
squished looking. And,
Baba.
and as the movie progresses, you know, she starts standing up straighter, her wrinkles start disappearing, her face becomes, you know, less wrinkled. And that was such a good way to translate the lack of pain and like creakiness of the joints that you get in Sophie's narration to the screen.
For a second, I thought that they were slacking on how detailed they were making her face. Like as it started to become more apparent that it was like on purpose, like in that middle ground, I was like, okay, did they just forget about the wrinkles? Like until I caught on to like, oh no, you're doing some
Storytelling.
You're doing some storytelling. Like until like they did it very fluidly to the point where like you notice, but you're like, is that on purpose or not?
Yeah.
And by the time you realize it's on purpose, it's this really cool reveal.
Yes. And it has this beauty to it that you look. We've obviously talked about the fact that this is a nostalgia movie. I saw this movie literally, I think I saw it first when I was like in middle school. And this is before I even knew
Anime.
No, even knew anime, but even before I knew what Studio Ghibli did, what I always say his name wrong, and I feel so bad.
You're saying it right. You're saying Ghibli wrong. You're saying Miyazaki correctly. You're saying Ghibli like giblets.
Ghibli. Sorry, I always I either said one right and messed the other one up, or
I think it's the fact that you're a little bit tipsy. You've switched it.
probably.
Because you said it right earlier, like before we left for dinner.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yep. So how am I?
Gib.
Ghibli.
Like Gibby from
Ghibli.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did say it right. You're right. Oh my god.
We were standing right there, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm so excited for getting to watch all the Studio Ghibli movies again." And now we're here.
Yep. No. So before I knew what Studio Ghibli was, before I knew everything, because I had seen one other film, and I'm not going to talk about it because we are actually going to talk about it later. But I did not know they were made by the same person, and I was like, wow, if this person did that, you know. When I first saw Howl's Moving Castle, I was like, wow, I wonder if they were related or something.
Right.
Without realizing it.
Right.
We're watching my first Ghibli movie in this month as well, and I had the exact same reaction when I watched Howl's Moving Castle after watching that one. I was like, what the fuck? Is this the same dude?
Yeah.
Yes!
Howl's Moving Castle was actually my first Ghibli movie, and I don't remember when I watched it. I just remember, you know, vague impressions of it, and like, especially the Mayday scene. That really stuck with me for whatever reason. But then in middle school, one of my friends had My Neighbor Totoro
Oh god, that's a
sticker on their binder, and I was like, that seems familiar. Why do I know that art style? And they were like, oh, it's, you know, Studio Ghibli. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
Studio what now?
Ghibli.
What are you talking about?
Holiday Hoobly Ghibli.
Exactly.
Holiday Hoobie Ghibli.
And I think that's just a real testament to his art. That even if you don't know the studio, even if you don't know him, you can recognize
So,
his work.
something that I will say that astonishes me about his work is it's transcendent in generations. And the reason I say that is because I literally, like I said, I watched this when I was in middle school. I found it by accident because my parents had gotten Stars and it was on Stars and I was like, this is the coolest shit ever.
Maybe I saw it on Stars. I don't fucking know.
The only reason I remember is because I also saw some other movies that I'm gonna force you guys to watch. So
Oh.
Myra, if it's anything like your romance,
well, one of them is, but it's
Myra!
It doesn't
Have
have
we not learned?
it doesn't have the 6-minute sex scene. So
Okay, it wasn't 6 minutes. It was a whole fucking episode.
okay, this whole episode sex scene. There's actually no PDA because it's an Indian film. It's a Bollywood movie.
you
I'll
know what
stay
we
on-
haven't done for a Bollywood film.
I'll stay on for Bollywood, but you're on thin fucking ice. You made me watch Bridgerton. I'm still scarred.
I'm sorry, but so
45 minutes.
I'm sorry.
45 minutes of bow chicka. Wow, wow.
Sorry, that was
You're not. Don't
You're
lie
not.
to us.
No, I'm not. But whatever. So, but the reason I say it's transcending, I actually, you guys know I started working at this new job. Well, it's no longer new. About 2.5, 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And in my job, I've very slowly learned that there are other nerds out there. Or at least in my job.
I was like, Myra, how have you not figured that out? You met your
Don't bully her.
best friend nerd at church.
I'm saying I mean, because most of the time, the old job that I worked at, nobody knew what anything nerd was.
That's fair.
And I introduced everybody to Howl's Moving Castle, and everybody went, Calcifer, though.
You gotta understand, all nerds go to hourly jobs, okay? When you have, like, a medical thing, you get a lot of, like, the not nerds.
That's fair.
Not a lot of nerds are in medical.
Yeah, no.
Grocery, barista-esque, that's where we all go.
We're like, yes, would-be English majors, if not English majors.
Yes.
No, we're like, yes, you will give me all of the time off for every convention and won't judge me when I come to work with bags under my eyes crying about some anime character that died. This
Or
is
if I
perfect.
want to dye my purple hair, I want to dye my hair purple just because I think it looks awesome on me. I can't do that shit.
Yep,
If I
that's
show up with purple hair, I'm fired.
Yep.
I was about to be like, excuse me, my purple hair looked
Yeah,
good.
it did, and you were allowed to do it.
Yeah,
I know,
I'm not.
yeah.
Dude, I came in with red highlights. They're like, you gotta get them off. I can't wear any extreme colors that are not close to natural on me. So
No,
the
I'm
soft
sorry.
finger.
I hope it stays over here because it's not good.
okay. But going back to that, it was very interesting. I have an older coworker. She's could potentially be my mother. She's older. But for Halloween we get to dress up. They actually let us do that. So a good work costume is Kiki, and I dressed up as Kiki. And my coworker goes,
Beach.
Hello.
she looked at me and she goes, nah, she's probably one of those kids that doesn't know shit. She probably saw this costume and went like, okay.
That's
And-
easy enough.
Yeah. And then when she noticed, like, all my coworkers were asking me, so at the time, the Worst Little Witch or whatever had just come out on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, that weird one.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Haven't seen it. Looks weird.
Yeah. So
Not a vibe.
Not a vibe.
almost everybody's like, oh, you watched that weird Little Witch thing on Netflix. And I'm like, no.
What?
Like, you guys are...
Please check your vibes.
I was like, please, I'm like, excuse me? No, I'm doing something so much better. I'm doing, Kiki's delivery service. I'm Kiki.
The obvious
And-
superior option.
And this is when she comes out of nowhere. She comes out of nowhere. No, not even like that. She's like, you know Kiki?
See, my dramatic ass would have like hopped around a corner.
And then she goes, how about Spirited Away? I know. I was like, whoa, time out. You.
Oh, that was intentional.
I was like, are we connecting here?
Madame.
And then of course my other coworker who does watch anime was like,
Hello?
hey Kiki.
Sup, babe?
That's awesome.
And it's very interesting because even within that experience, it's 3 different age groups. Because the one that does watch anime, she's still older than me, but she's not significantly older.
Right.
While as the other coworker who actually has seen all the Miyazaki films, she raised her daughters on it. So I mean, kudos to her.
I mean, yeah.
Kudos to her. So to have something just be that transcending in age is, I think it's amazing.
You had your hand.
Can I slide us into the DMs a la the plot?
Sure.
Okay, I have one. This is going a little out of order,
Okay.
but I need to say it now because I'm not going to remember.
Can I, before you continue your thought process, can I just say,
If I don't remember whose fault it is.
it's nice that you say your coworker raised her daughter on
Her
the
3
Ghibli
daughters.
films because he actually wrote a lot of his movies for his daughters,
Yeah.
and that's nice. He wanted wholesome stories for his daughters. So anyway,
That was worth it. I'm sorry. No, I know. I was thinking about this when I watched the movie, and then I fucking forgot. And we're sitting here talking, and I went, "That thing! I know it."
Okay.
I was gripping onto it for dear life. Okay. So I have a crackpot theory. We're kind of skipping over the actual plot. We can backtrack to it in a second. You said plot. I know. I said what I said. We're here now. I have a crackpot theory. I think Howl is one of the king's children. He looks a lot like them.
see, okay, so
Like a lot like them.
I didn't think they were the king's children.
Or the queen's kids. They're all the same. They have the same hair, the same body. They're all clones of each other.
That's what I was thinking. I think
Yeah.
they're clones that
Solomon.
Solomon created.
Sure, but Howl looks like them, so he could be a clone too.
Howl, no.
No, because he dyes his hair to
He
make
dyes his hair
himself look-
purposefully to make himself.
Even without the color, it still looks like.
I have a thing to crack your crackpot theory.
But it's already cracked. Why you gotta make it worse?
Because I'm gonna
Okay, go ahead, break it.
break it. No. So Howl's whole thing is superficial. He was actually they even said he was Solomon's apprentice. So to me, the fact that Solomon has all these little clones,
Oh, maybe they were emulating him.
yes.
Okay, fine.
And to the reason that they have blonde hair, I think at some point Solomon implanted that whole thought that beauty comes from that blue-eyed blonde hair. And that's the reason this is coming more to me now because of the fact that you said that World War II happened. That was a major thing for the Germans, and the fact that Hal finally accepts his true being is a whole breaking away from the norm.
Okay, we can backtrack now. How do you guys feel about the plot?
The plot slaps.
Yeah, I love that they don't push the love story. You know what I mean?
They don't.
Because the book feels like it pushes it a little bit more towards Michael or the sisters. The book pushes it more towards the sisters.
But it feels natural.
No, I'm
Almost.
not saying it's like super pushy like Bridgerton was, okay? But it does feel Ooh.
So it feels appropriate for the genre
Yes.
because the book is very much more a slice of life kind of
Yes.
energy as opposed to this fantastical story. Well, I mean, you do get fantastical story elements later, but it's very much a love story.
Yes.
One thing that really irritated me though, like two small details that really, really irked me was that in the book, Sophie's dress is described as gray. So many
Yes,
times.
it is. Yes, it is.
So many times.
She never wears a gray dress.
Never wears a gray dress. And two, Howl's crystal's supposed to be blue. They make it green.
So here's my thought on why they changed this.
Two things.
Yep.
Here's my thought though on why they changed this. And after seeing the movie and seeing gray would like blah everything out.
Not just that. If you watch a lot of bless you, if you watch a lot of Miyazaki films, color means a lot to him in storytelling. Gray has a meaning to him, and it's not good. It I think No Face in Spirited Away had when he's not misbehaving has more of a gray tint, especially where he's fading out a little bit. It's when even Industrial Smoke. It's to Miyazaki's art style, gray means foreboding.
Right, because the ships are the army ships are gray.
Yeah, gray has a meaning, and I think that's the reason they changed it to a color that is similar.
Yeah.
It's the dress version of Steel Blue.
Yeah, I know.
I can't say anything.
I'm just being a purist in this moment of
okay.
If we're really being a purist, Michael's supposed to be older.
and dark skin toned.
Yes.
Because they don't really give him a definitive skin tone other than calling him dark skinned. And that could be a variety of things.
He could be tan.
I mean, for an anime character, this is the Markle, right? The little kid.
Yeah,
For an anime character, he was pretty tan.
sure.
But
You gotta think that Japan doesn't see a lot of people with more melanin, and their representation in media is slim to none.
That's fair.
So the fact that he is a little bit more tan than all the others is actually a really big deal.
and
But
he's supposed to be older.
Well, he is when he has his disguise on.
he's supposed to be
16, 17.
17-ish.
Yeah, he is when he has his
Because
disguise on.
doesn't he? If I'm not mistaken,
Lottie?
he falls for Lottie, right? Or is it the other one?
I don't know.
The one that works with the witch.
Yeah, in the book, she has two sisters, and they do a little switcheroo and pretend to be each other for a bit. And Hal starts courting one Lottie, and they call him Michael in the book, courts the other Lottie, and he's all Hal's fallen in love with my Lottie. What am I going to do now?
Yeah, there's a lot more drama.
Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't do that.
Yeah, I think
I would agree.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that they stuck more to the platonic parts of the story and also gave us a pretty good show of a high magic world without trying to over swamp us with information for a movie. Because I feel like a lot of movies that have this level of lore, especially with a base thing that they're something they're based on, they try and give you so much. Most of the movie is information.
Right.
No, you don't understand. This is how you do this, and this is how this. So this. They give you all of the hard rules of the world, so
Right.
to the point where you're spending the majority of the movie
Trying to
following the rules.
Right.
And I love that they kind of went, "No, you're
Fuck
following
it."
Sophie. Sophie doesn't know shit about magic. You gotta suffer."
And both the movie and the book excel in that point.
Yes, I do agree with that. They don't try to
Boggle you down with
information.
yeah.
And I do enjoy that both of them are both a love story for Howl and Sophie. It's not even Howl and Lottie. It's Howl and Sophie. And I like how in both of them it's a subtle love story because it's the little things that make them fall for each other. It's not it's not what you typically see in romances today, where they straight go for let's have sex.
Right.
And also, oh sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, but in the book, Hal's like at least 35% more self-destructive himbo.
Oh yes.
It's he goes on a bender
Which
at
is
one
already
point.
impressive. He's already.
Yeah, he goes on a bender at one point, and you're just like, Hal, and Sophie's just like, God damn it, bitch, you're literally like getting death threats on the regular now. Could you maybe not
Just chill for
Exactly.
5 fucking seconds. Oh no, he's just Juno Steel with magical powers.
God damn it.
I'm sorry, I need to leave.
Now have you now talking about plot and everything? I'm just curious because I have not. But have you read the follow-up book? Castle in the Sky?
Synopsis of it on Wikipedia.
Because I know that that's more based on their married life.
Kind of. So the story isn't told from either Hal or Sophie's perspective. It's told from an entirely new character.
Yeah.
You're just thrust into this guy's life. And similar to how Sophie's life just kind of gets thrust into this magical environment that he has no idea what he's doing, this new character gets bound to a djinn and then has to go on magical excursions. That djinn ends up being Hal.
That's where the connection was. I knew that.
And he ends up adopting a cat and the cat's kitten, and that ends up being Sophie and their son.
I was just curious because I hadn't read the synopsis.
I was going to. I started listening to the second book, and it wasn't immediately from Sophie's perspective, and I went, nope, absolutely not, rejected.
Speaking of Sophie and other characters,
Oh,
how do we like our leading lady?
I love her.
Oh, I love Sophie.
I would die for her.
She aight.
In the book,
I don't know.
Myra just gave me this look that turned into an I'm not looking at you of like, I won't talk about this. We're moving past that.
No, I can see where you would say that, but I think with Sophie in particular, I made this weird connection, even as a young age when I first watched it, because first of all, I am the older child.
oh yeah, you're the eldest sister.
I'm the eldest sister. And I've never, I mean, you guys know my self-esteem is not the best. So,
But you also know how to pull this boss ass bitch. Like, I'm in command. Everybody better shut down, buckle up.
it's taken me years to get there. So when I first watched this movie, getting that connection with Sophie of that low self-esteem, I'm not that beautiful, you know, all my friends, even to this day, like, all my friends are more beautiful than I am.
You shut your whore mouth.
What?
You shut your whore mouth.
Have you seen a mirror?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you need to get it adjusted to your glasses prescription so that it's reflecting
Have you
correctly.
dusted it recently? Like,
Whatever.
Confidence boosts aside.
So I understand where she comes from as a character, feeling like, well, I mean, honestly, compared to Caesar, he's handsome.
who?
Okay?
Hal?
No, like, because what happens with Sophie is she's compared to her siblings and her mother. And at that point, like, I sort of feel her. But I also, like you said, I have this bomb-ass attitude of I'm taking charge. And what does Sophie do? Bitch, get out of my way.
She does.
See, I like her for her attitude. I don't know. The way that she's kind of just like, ooh, look at Howl, look at his spookiness. I'm just gonna like vibe now, okay? I didn't like how seamlessly she slid into their DMs. I understand that it has to happen for the story to move forward, and I'm sure the book had more preamble to it, but the point of the matter is I saw the movie, and the movie had it go a little more smoothly than I think it would have gone. The little kid just comes down the stairs and goes, "Sup, old bitch? What up? Why you here? Anyway, I'm just gonna pull this head over my hat and be an old man for a second. You don't worry a thing. I'll be back to question you later." And she goes, "Hey, instead, why don't I just like make you fucking bacon?" And he goes, "Oh shit, really? Never mind, I won't question anything." And no one questions anything. She goes, "Oh no, yeah, I'm your cleaning lady? Cleaning lady, yeah, cleaning lady." And Howl goes, "Yeah, I definitely hired you."
No,
You know, like a liar.
She just said Calcifer hired her.
Okay, you know, like a liar.
Well, no, okay, so Calcifer is exactly how he is in the book. Perfect
yes.
characterization. Michael.
Who is Michael?
Markle.
It's the name of your familiar. You should know.
In the book, he's Michael. Markle is about 90% more sassy because he's a teenage boy, and he's like, "Bitch, who is you? Why you in my house? Who let you in?" And Calcifer's like, "I did, punk ass bitch." And he's like, "Bitch, why? Why you do this?"
That's fair. I mean, I don't know.
I get what you're saying,
Yeah,
though, that
yeah.
that whole... But I do gotta admit, again, being the whole Sophie connection, I'm sorry. I live for Sophie, because Sophie's me, secretly.
Yeah. This is not a dig at you, by the way.
No.
I just,
Listen,
Um,
we all have our
structurally.
kinnies.
Yeah.
You know...
Sophie's yours.
Yeah, she's mine. So just, I feel like Sophie is this super chaotic, and you see it though. You freaking see that she's chaotic. But she's so like me. Oh my god.
Yeah, basically the sass levels get turned up by like 50% minimum.
The older, when she finally feels like she's old enough to go, "Fuck you, I don't give a shit anymore."
I'm 90. What are you gonna do about it?
Oh, what if I'm like that when I'm 90, guys?
What if?
Oh, but like, okay, listen.
Okay, shut the fuck up.
She's a badass, and she's not a bitch.
No,
Like,
she's not.
The witch who cursed her, she stands at the top of those stairs and cheers for her to get up the stairs too.
Yeah,
Like, that takes a level of person that I think is passed up a lot. Like, I think you could easily just chalk that up to, like, I don't know, some weird thing the character's doing, but that takes...
No,
No, because she gets her digs at her as she's combing up the
Oh,
stairs.
of course,
She's like,
yeah.
"You can't get up the stairs? Aren't you an all-powerful magical being?"
Yeah, but, like, then like, they're walking in, and the Witch of the Waste looks wrecked. She looks like the Witch of the Wrecked. And she's just trying her best to vibe. And Sophie's like, "Pull yourself together. Didn't you say you've been waiting to come here? Like, get yourself presentable."
exactly.
Get your face on.
She has this level of, oh my god, I'm making the connections with me and Sophie right now, and I'm like dying because
She's very balanced.
yeah, and I gotta admit that's something that I like when I can make a connection like that with a character, and they did that very well.
Yeah.
And I love how she is. I just love her personality, and I love that she's willing to stand up for people she cares about, and is not going to. I can't say this part because I do hold grudges like a bitch.
I think she did hold a grudge. I don't think she I don't think she completely forgave the witch. I think what she did was put, like, okay, I'm stuck in this situation with this person. If I get angry right now...
She put her... Oh, yep, never mind. Yep,
Yeah,
she's
she
just
put
like
the current
me.
situation. She put the current situation ahead of her grudge for the moment.
She did what I do.
Yep.
Like what you guys said. Your face just switched like a motherfucker, and I don't know why.
Well, and like half of the thing, she's like, this dumb, flamboyant, pretty boy is just going out, philandering about, doing God knows what. I mean, come on, like. And then Markle's like, "No, he's actually doing important things. Actually, though, please don't yell at Hal. He's trying
And
his
then
best."
he comes home sad one time, and she goes,
Why are you sad?
Wait, my boy, wait, no, come back. Hold on, wait.
Wait.
I'm sorry. Am I sorry? I think I'm sorry.
I feel like I should be sorry.
So one thing I gotta gripe with any. This is really more for the art style, and you guys can hate me, but when these fucking characters cry, why?
Okay, but Ghibli tears are known throughout the industry for being like over the top, like in a good way.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying they're bad, but
Three things I
I'm
always
like,
love.
you can always know who they are.
Three things I love about his films and like climactic moments: the tears, and the way, or I guess it technically two. The way fabric and hair defy gravity and physics.
Just for a moment.
Just for a moment.
Just for a very pinnacle moment.
They're like float. Swoosh.
That's fair.
And I really like the way that they used it in Howls, because every time it happens, it almost is like a prelude to magical presence in the air. That's like it's enough to affect something, but not enough to do anything.
Right.
And I love that. It's like someone just cast show off. I'm going to cast the spell show off. I would like to make some things billow when they shouldn't. Okay, done.
You know what? And you can see, especially when, particularly the tears, is when Sophie realizes that she's lost everything. And then right after, she gets Howl back, her dress does this weird thing where you're like, okay, I got you, bitch, I got you.
Yeah.
And it does, you're right, it does have this magical feel to it, especially for this film. But even like the other films, because a lot of the other films also have a hint of magic in them.
Oh,
So
God,
it does give you this sensation of there's magic in the air, even if you can't use it.
Like it's almost like a signal that something otherworldly is happening without shoving it in your face.
Yeah.
Like I think in Spirited Away at one point Chihiro like tenses up right before one of the
Demons?
they're not demons, but the magical creatures are like coming towards her or something. She tenses up and her hair kind of floats a little bit, and then I think it's right before Haku like bites her or something, tries to bite her or something.
Maybe.
I don't remember.
I don't remember explicitly.
Well, we'll get to it.
Yeah, no, I think it's very true. Stylistic. But with Sophie, now that we're talking, we're still...
My stomach isn't happy. I don't know why. We're talking about Sophie.
As far as Sophie goes, what class of D&D do you think she would be?
I would say sorcerer of some kind.
Sophie? Like, I'm with Jake.
No, because she has innate magical abilities that she doesn't know how to use.
No, does she?
Yeah,
In the
she
book.
does.
No, we're not.
In the
We
book.
are not
This is in
reviewing
the
the
book.
book.
No, because in the movie itself, she has the ability to bring Scarecrow to life.
She
Turnip
doesn't
head.
have the ability.
No,
She broke his spell.
She broke his spell.
No.
He fell in love with her, and she kissed him, which was breaking the spell by true love. They say that at the very end.
And the only
then-
thing... No.
Side
This
note,
is from the
hold
book.
on.
This is from the
Oh.
book. You're talking about the book because the scene that you're thinking of is she gets him unstuck out of the bushes. She does not bring him back to life. She just gets him unstuck, and then she's like, "Oh, you're a scarecrow. Oh, you're standing on your own." She does not bring him to life. In the book, she does.
She does get him unstuck. It just doesn't bring him to life. Anyway, what I'm gonna make a thing here while Sam frantically reads the Wikipedia page to try and prove us wrong. I love that when she does break the spell with the kiss at the end, and he goes, "It was broken by true love's kiss," and she goes, "Oh, I'm actually like snogging my boyfriend right now. Could we like maybe talk about this later?" He goes, "I do respect you for that. Yes." I actually, instead, I think I'm going to go home and maybe talk to my dad about not bombing people. So we'll do that instead. You guys enjoy your happy life.
I'll come back later.
It's such a stark contrast from the beginning of the movie where we see those guards harassing her. This dude is like, "You are my true love, and because of that, you broke my spell." And she goes, okay, I appreciate that. I'm really glad you're better, but no thank you. And he goes, understood. I will not be taking my leave, and no hard feelings. I'll send you a wedding gift in the mail.
Yes,
That is the vibe.
It's such a good vibe. Like it's so different. I really liked that. But anyway, back to the question at hand.
Okay, so I'm not seeing it. However,
it's in the book, Sam.
it doesn't explain why she's able to throw water on Calcifer and how and Calcifer live.
It's just because Calcifer's a demon.
No, but
He just doesn't die from water.
no, that doesn't explain why he's so deeply afraid of water the entire film.
Okay, well listen, if you were a fucking Charmander, you'd probably be afraid of a Squirtle. But just because it uses splash on you doesn't mean you're gonna instantly die. It means it's gonna
And
fucking
he's
hurt.
never in the way. Okay, hold on. Theory. Hold on before you say anything.
Uh-huh.
Calcifer's fire.
Correct.
Howl and Calcifer met when they were kids.
Uh-huh.
What's the first thing your parents teach you? What turns fire off?
Smothering.
Water, Sam. The answer's water.
The answer is water, honey.
No, well, hey.
Well,
Yeah, no.
Did you not have fire hydrants in fucking New Jersey?
I mean, no, not really, because it would ruin the rural aesthetic of our town. We didn't have streetlights, streetlights either.
That's a health hazard.
Or sidewalks.
Please move on. Please move on.
Okay, so for those people who did not grow up knowing that you put water, except if it's a grease fire, on fire to turn it off.
I mean, okay, see, the way that I was interpreting that, like, yes, water stops fire, but if the fire's hot enough, no, it doesn't. That's why we struggle to put out forest fires.
But my thought is, hear me out.
I'm hearing.
Because they were both so young, and then after that, Hal pretty much kept Calcifer condensed in one area. Condensed in one area, like secluded in one area, contained with the fear of him going out. It's this whole mentality of,
You think Hal gave him the fear of water?
I think they both had that fear of water because they never tried it.
Or, we know that our boy Howl was one casty boy.
One
Whatever kind of caster he is, why couldn't he just give him resistance to water? Boom. Maybe he made him afraid of water in case the spell didn't work. Or maybe it's only a one-time use spell, and he just put it on him with the hope and prayer that he'd never fucking need it. And then, the one time he fucking needs it, splash.
The reason I say this is the reason I think it's more of a naiveness amongst them is because to the point where he's suffocating from low wood, and Hal brings him back up by giving him more wood, more fuel. It's very much of Hal protects him, and they know water's bad for fire, but they've never tried it. Because why are you going to try something that you know is bad for the fire?
Yeah, I guess the problem is we literally don't know enough contextually about Calcifer as a being to answer the question.
And the only reason I don't think it's fully Sophie is because after you return the heart to Howl, there we go. That's what I was trying to say. Calcifer still survives. He did not need the heart to be the fire.
Right.
Okay, so back to the original question. I think she'd be a bard.
I agree. Well,
Elaborate.
yeah.
She brings the team together and basically inspires them throughout the entire... She literally looks at Calcifer and goes, hey, great job doing your thing. And he goes, oh, fuck yeah, and starts doing it better. Like, she's literally just going around inspiring people.
Yeah, she's giving everybody inspiration.
That's my only leg to stand on. I don't know what else she would be, because as far as the movie goes, she doesn't have any magical powers. Don't have anything else to really
I
go
wouldn't
off
say
of.
she's roguey or ranger either.
No, she's not, like, it's
No, because
maybe-
she has a hard time getting through the wastes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't even say druid for that.
Yeah.
Or ranger.
Yeah.
She never uses a ring. Oh my god. Yeah, she never even uses a weapon, like, at all.
No.
So she'd have to be some kind of caster. I
I'd say bard or cleric.
maybe cleric, but, like, argue it.
I
Tell
would
me
say
your
nature
stance.
cleric because she's able to like connect. I don't know what other type of cleric she would be besides like life maybe.
I can see that, but I would say I'm leaning more towards bard though, because
Only
of the,
for the inspirations.
and she's
What
very
would be her
instrument.
instrument?
I don't care. I've literally never played a bard. She dances.
No,
Well, okay.
but she seems good with her hands. I would say she could play like any good simple.
She literally makes hats for a living. She's good with her hands.
Sure.
She could probably learn any instrument.
Sure.
And it's set sort of. It feels like a Victorian era, so it would feel like it's one of those that she comes from a good family, so you know her family gave her an instrument to learn.
Oh, also, what's that one spell that you can cast that's like, you get everyone around the campfire and have a good meal?
Hero's Feast?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe? That's kind of what it feels like she does when she gets all of them together for breakfast that first time.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with bard.
I don't like it either. Maybe she's a level 1 bard. Maybe she's not settled on her instrument yet, because she's definitely not useful for the plot in any combat ways.
No.
It's not like she's going around being like, and you! But, like, if we had to give her a class, I would say the inspiration argues for that.
I will concede I'm not like the largest fan of it, but I don't have a better answer, so
Okay.
Fair. The only other thing I was thinking of is maybe artificer, but she's not crafty enough. She makes hats, not mechanical items.
Yeah, she's
she
not
has
crafty.
guild artisan background.
If anything, the artificer is Howl.
Ooh,
I would
yes.
definitely allow artificer for Howl.
Now that we're with Howl,
Yeah.
personality wise. Oh my God, Howl.
So about Howl.
Yeah, no, Howl is an interesting character.
For sure.
All
He's a
around.
little emo bitch baby.
He is. He really is.
Oh, an emo vain bitch baby. Like, God, could you just...
Flair for the dramatic. I'm not beautiful anymore. Let me turn into a slime monster.
Oh, I love that though.
Oh no, it's one of my favorite scenes. But
You're right. He is like a himbo, but I feel like you see him grow more through the film than any other character.
yeah, like the
I mean,
fans.
How does he grow?
He grows emotionally.
Explain yourself, because I completely disagree. And film only.
Film only. I feel like he does not fully. He's not a full. He goes from a 10-year-old to 15. Okay, I'm not saying he's a full-on adult yet.
What does he do different at the end of the movie? That's what's tripping me up.
So you
He
see,
seems like it's the same little shit, just now happy he's not a demon. He's like, now I can be smug on purpose.
I would argue that he doesn't really grow all that much because here's the thing. We show him being extremely clever and cunning.
Oh yes,
Because-
I'm not demeaning him.
Okay, fine.
No,
you
no,
win.
no. Because no. I know exactly what scene you were thinking of. That scene where he's like, "Oh, Sophie's trying to break her curse. Look at her, sleeping all young. It's working. The magic is working." But you see that when he immediately goes to rescue Calcifer, when he's like, "I'm dying. I'm getting smothered. Help! Help!" We know that. We know that from like scene 2 he's in. He doesn't. Listen.
She already conceded. Like, I like him as a character. I like him. He's just, He's about as mature as he's gonna get at this point.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, his maturity level does not
He's maxed
grow.
out. Granted, he maxed out at like 3%, but he's still maxed out.
Fine. You're right. When you're right, you're right. I'll admit it. I am wrong. You are
It's not-
right.
I don't even want to be right. I can't.
I don't know. I feel like
You said he matured, and I was like, wait a minute, how?
The only thing
I wouldn't
that
say matured.
You did though.
I said he grew.
the only thing I might
So
give
he's
you is
tall
that
now.
that there's like probably 20% less tantrums now that Sophie's like actively involved.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that's just called a lady came in and fixed me. That's the.
Oh, Jesus.
That's just called I have a mom now, and also I date her. That's weird. I said words.
Isn't that most?
It fucking shouldn't be.
No.
But yeah. It's most Western marriages.
Yeah, it's most Western marriages.
Anyway. He's
Yeah.
very pretty.
He's
He
pretty.
dyes his hair. It's a vibe.
I don't know. I don't like him as a person.
Mhm.
I like him as a character.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
definitely. No.
Um,
He's a great character. Please don't get me wrong.
no. I know. You've said it, so it's not like I can be like, oh my god, Jay, you're horrible.
So were we in agreement on Artificer, or did
Yeah,
you guys have other
I-
words?
I don't, because he's not really a sorcerer. He's much more resourceful than a sorcerer.
Yeah.
He's more like a cursed artificer.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would vibe with cursed
I would
artificer.
Yes, I agree.
It was just really funny. Sorry. It was like Baby Griffin.
Griffin Light
Yeah.
with a T.
Okay.
Markle.
He would just have to be an artificer's apprentice.
Sure.
Yeah. He really in throughout the film he really doesn't. I mean, he's a cool kid, but
He only really has that one trick though.
yeah, and you really don't see much of him except to be like, I'm here.
Sophie, I love you.
Plus, that
Mom.
cloak is totally a cloak that he, imbued with magic. So, literally, that's an artificer thing.
Artificer.
He's just an artificer's apprentice. We made a new
Category.
book instead of the sorcerer's apprentice.
Or the Ranger's Apprentice. Or,
Oh, whatever.
you know.
I don't.
There's
read any
multiple
of them.
blank apprentice.
Okay, well, that was another one. Welcome to our new story.
Uh,
All right, so who else we got?
Calcifer.
Calcifer.
As
Is
a-
he? Would he
Are we
be
trying to put him in a class?
No, I wouldn't say I put him in a class because I mean, as a character, he seems like a warlock's
or
little.
a familiar?
Yes, he looks.
He's an imp.
He looks like he feels like a familiar.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say, or not even an imp. Some like on certain aspects, he feels also like a warlock's person.
Patron?
Patron.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe
Wow.
How's a warlock? Maybe he's multi-class.
Artificer
Because
Artlock. Artlock.
I would say he feels more like a patron or even a familiar. He doesn't have this
Yes. Both.
because throughout the film you see him have this special connection with Howl that no other creature does.
Mhm.
So that's where I would say you get the familiar because I mean Calcifer has his sass, his I'm independent, but I still need Howl and Howl needs me.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I could say familiar rather than
Yeah, and Billy Crystal was such a good voice acting choice.
oh my gosh, yes.
I'm gonna have to believe you on it.
He but I would definitely say Calcifer is a
Yeah, it feels very much like
familiar maybe.
a familiar who a patron who has allowed himself to act as a familiar.
Yes.
Like he has
have more involvement.
Yeah.
Oh, like what's his name from that one podcast? The Traveler.
Yes. He feels very similar to the Traveler, actually.
I don't listen to that podcast, but Sam does, so they're gonna fill in.
Yeah,
Yes.
so for those who don't know,
It took me a
we
second to be
watch-
like, what the
We
fuck?
do not we this.
I watch Critical Role. I tried to get my friends into it. They're not a huge fan of the 4-hour
Excuse me?
episode. You are so far behind.
I am far behind, but I am a
They're
fan.
fine. She's far behind on everything. You can't use that against her.
Listen, actually, that's entirely fair. So
It took me. I had a crunch catch up on Magnus Archive so we could all listen to the finale together.
and I'm so glad you did.
Honestly, same. It
Any-
was so good.
Anyways, so there's a character, Jester, who is a cleric of, spoilers, Artagan, who is a fae, archfae, and the archfae aren't supposed to be gods, but Jester believed in him so hard that he became god. And that's kind of how their relationship, how Howl's and Calcifer's relationship
Yes.
gets portrayed, because you don't hear what the conversation they have is when he's holding Calcifer
Before he eats them.
before he eats him or swallows him or whatever. But they have this little conversation, and Hal's like, "Sure, buddy."
Yeah, and I find it interesting. The reason I would say he's even I would agree with you on that, like he's a patron, is because when he does, like, when you see the falling stars, and we see all of this, and we learn that Hal ate a falling star, all the other falling stars disappear.
Well, and you can see little traces of people in them.
Yeah, you can see traces of people in them, but they disappear, and Calcifer had the wits to somehow figure out how to stay longer.
Or how to aim himself towards Howl.
Okay.
And but Calcifer as a character, I love him.
He's so good.
He's the sass master to everything.
He has a snapback for any situation.
Oh yeah.
Who else?
I said snapback, clapback.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
The Witch of the Waste.
I'm not fixing it in post.
Please.
No,
No.
I physically can't. You've said it multiple times.
Bam.
You literally said it 2.5 times, and then you caught it. You caught yourself in the middle of the third one.
The Witch of the Waste.
Okay, the Witch of the Waste. Cursed Wizard.
I would say Cursed Wizard. I couldn't give her anything else because the only spell you see her cast, besides, having her little henchman, is turning Sophie old.
What if she's a warlock who gets disconnected from her patron?
Wouldn't that leave her completely
Believe
powerless?
Yeah, she is.
No, she has She has the little minions, and she puts a curse on Sophie.
But she's
After
but they're
she gets
talking
stripped.
about after she gets stripped. So they have the patron until they get stripped.
So you're saying in the beginning of the movie she would be a warlock, and after what's her name casts the spell, she would be stripped.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant from the beginning, and I
No,
was
no,
like,
no, no. I would say she's a warlock until
prove it otherwise.
until Solomon, I guess, would have to cast Wish to strip her of her entire class.
What if Solomon's her patron?
What if Solomon made a deal with her patron that cut her off? Like, what if Solomon offered the patron something they couldn't refuse in trade of one of their followers?
I would say I feel more like
Wish.
no, Solomon's the patron because she. I said it wrong, didn't
Go
I?
ahead. Go ahead. Please go ahead.
But
No, it's like we need one of those. That was why I
We
was
do need one of those.
only have
but
followers.
the reason I say that is because Solomon has like this power over all the witches and wizards in the country or wherever they are in the world, and Solomon has stated that the Witch of the Waste lost her way.
Correct.
So that was her way of stripping her of the knowledge that she gave her.
I see.
Jesus Christ.
Also, hold on, while we're on a pause, I have another one. Unlike you jaded pessimists, I still have the ability to feel optimistic about something even after a lifetime of disappointment. And you know why? It's because I'm stupid. Okay, done. Oh my god.
So I would say Warlock until she disconnects her from her powers. And Solomon being the...
You know what? I would be willing to concede on this point simply because Solomon does very much have this element of otherworldliness about them. Like, yeah, she's an old lady in a chair.
For now.
For now.
Is she creepy as fuck?
She reminds me of the main antagonist in the Wicked play.
Nissa.
Yeah, Nessa, Eliza,
And Peggy.
Oh shit. But yeah.
Cool.
So,
I'd be willing to swing. She's a patron of some kind. What kind?
I don't know them well enough.
I don't, yeah. I mean, I do
I think
know...
you're the only one who actively plays them currently.
Off of what I remember alone without looking it up, I would want to say Faye simply based on the art style and the flavor of her magic that is presented in the film.
And she has little minions that she clones, so I would say Faye.
I'd be willing to swing Faye because she doesn't feel demonic.
I wouldn't name her demonic.
Or what's the other one? It's not angelic.
She does not have she definitely feels Faye-ish. Especially when you first
Sure.
meet her, she's in the middle of this garden.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
No. I think that's basically all the characters that you really get introduced through the movie. I mean, you
That you have enough context to.
Yeah, I mean, you get introduced to Sophie's sister and her mom, who, why the fuck do they look? Never mind, they look exactly the same in the book too. So never mind.
Yeah,
but that's really all you get introduced, and their interactions are very minimal.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
The only other one is the dog, and I mean that one's just a fucking familiar, and I'm not taking it back.
Yeah, that's a
familiar who went
a minion who turned familiar to Sophie.
I feel like he was Solomon's familiar, and then went, but I don't like you. So I'm gonna go over there with the one I like. Oh, guess what? I'm attached to you now.
Hey, I don't know about you, but I don't fucking like you.
Because the only reason I say that is because Solomon goes, "You traitor."
Yeah, the wheezy ass little dog going.
It's not a dog. It's got these weird bird feet.
I love when he barks though.
Okay.
Asthmatic dog.
Okay. I didn't know he sounded like that.
He does.
He wheezes.
Okay.
He wheezes.
Sure.
One wheezy dog. One wheezy boy.
That's not how he sounds in the other one.
Oh, how does he
Like a
sound?
normal fucking dog.
They made him asthmatic in the English.
He's like,
Okay. You're gonna give yourself an asthma attack, and I'm gonna laugh at you.
yeah, you are.
Laughs an inhaler.
Is there anything we disliked about the film or how it portrayed the book?
I mean, I didn't read the book, so that would be on.
I would say no, because the book and the film go good together. Like, you can follow its storyline, but they can both be very independent. Like, they don't, like, you know how there's certain films that you, if you didn't read the book, there's certain information you missed?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like that with Howl's Moving Castle. Like,
No.
they can be totally independent. You don't have to read the book to get really what's going on in anything, and you don't have to watch, you know, if you're just like one of those purists that I'm like, I'm just the book kind of person.
Yeah.
You can really consider the film a completely separate thing without feeling like they did disjustice to the book.
No, that is one thing I will have to say about I guess it's an adaptation. Is that while it is by definition unfaithful to the source material, I adore both the book and the movie separately.
Yes.
They are, for me, they are very different entities, and while they tell a similar story, the way the film is done is made in such a way that it feels like the time and love and energy put into the film was made out of a labor of passion and not a money grab, which is why a lot of adaptations feel cheap and dishonest.
Yep.
At least in my opinion.
So, from my perspective, this kind of suffers in my mind from a little bit of what Ancient Magus Bride did from last month. It's not as blatantly, but the whole like girls can't really fight thing. I like more actiony things. For me, the plot was good, the movie was good. It wasn't my favorite because it was kind of boring after a while. We get it. You're slowly falling in love. There's this other stuff going on. Can we focus on the other stuff, please? Because it's much cooler than you. Every time Howl showed up, I was like, thank God something's going to happen. Oh my God, he's here.
Dramatic bitch.
You please give us something. It's of no fault of the movies or the writers. It's just not. It's not in my wheelhouse. There were some parts that felt like they moved a little too slow, in my opinion, and I feel like we glossed over a lot of what could have been more focused on the magic, just to get back to Sophie and her can-do attitude. I don't dislike her. It's just for me personally, I would have preferred a more maybe Howl-centric kind of. I would have liked to see his perspective more often. We only see him when Sophie's there, and I know that's a thing that Miyazaki does. He likes to have heroines in as the driving force of the story. I get it. This book seems like it falls perfectly in line with him.
Correct.
There was so much cool stuff hidden in Howl, and in the movie we didn't get to see much of it.
Yeah.
And I will say this, the book does a really good job of exploring Howl.
Yeah.
We got a whole wizard battle that we just don't get.
I wish there are certain little pieces like that I wish we could have kept.
I wish they had kept Howl Welsh. I know that's like not a big detail in the grand scheme of things, but
Is he in the book?
and it's a major plot point because the black door doesn't go to a war zone. It goes to his childhood home, and it's in Wales.
Cool.
And he vibes, and his sister's like, fuck you, and how you go off to a magical land and abandon your family, and you went to school for magic, and now what are you doing? And he's like, I'm a wizard. And she's like, no, you're not. You're not a wizard. You're a dumbass with a useless degree.
4 years of college and plenty of knowledge have earned me this useless degree.
So yeah,
I can't cast cantrips yet because I have no spell slots.
yeah. So that's a whole major aspect of the Howl and the plot. But again, I understand why Miyazaki made the decisions he did to tell the story he did. And the story he told is extremely well written and done and portrayed. It's just, it adds this element of characterization that we just don't get.
And I gotta admit with this, like, I get your gripe, but obviously this is more like a slice of life kind of film.
I know, and it could have been so much more. I'm dropping it. This is not, again, like I said, this is nothing against the story. This is nothing against the world. It's just my take on it. For me, it was boring.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. With that, so first character summary and then final thoughts. Sophie, we agreed.
We settled on Bard.
Bard.
Howl.
Howl, Artificer Warlock.
Artificer Warlock.
Calcifer,
Familiar.
Familiar patron.
Ish.
Thing. The Witch of the Waste is a warlock until she gets stripped to level 0.
And then she's just dumb.
Yep. Solomon is a patron.
Patron?
God damn it. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm planting it in your heads. And then
Subliminal messaging. That's how this works.
Definitely subliminal.
and then Markle is
An
a
apprentice.
I think that's
I'm sorry, what was that?
apprentice.
You said Pinterest, I think.
No, I said
No? She
apprentice.
She said apprentice.
You just cut me off.
Yeah, you were talking over her. You did it for, like, all of them, so you're losing this war. Okay, can y'all please stop Frenching over the table? It's really fucking weird. Yeah, well,
Anyway.
it got you back on track, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's all the main characters. You really don't meet anybody else.
Mm-mm.
And if y'all hate me for it, the other characters are not that important.
I guess the prince is a cursed object.
Yes! The prince is a cursed object.
Sure, I didn't know people were objects, but, I mean, fine. It's the guy's turn.
He's a turnip head.
Moving on. I'm agreeing.
Okay,
Yes.
final thoughts. Go watch the movie.
Mhm.
I mean, it's beautiful. Beautiful art, beautiful detail. I mean, to this day, I still find things in the fucking background that I'm like, that was there the whole time? Like, what? How much? Particularly when you go into Howl's room, and he has all the knickknacks and shit everywhere. Every time you look at a piece of wall, you could put pause on the movie and stare at a piece of wall and find something new for hours. That's the, like,
Where's Waldo?
Yes, thank you. Where's Waldo?
Upstairs.
In bed. No.
Sleeping, hopefully.
Yeah, but that's what it feels like, especially in that scene. So yeah, go see it. I know if you're not, like, into the slice of life, it's a beautiful piece of art that really deserves at least a single watch. And if you don't love it for the story, you're gonna love it for the art, because I mean, the ingenuity, thank you, of the mind that is Miyazaki. Oh my god.
It's late. Just give yourself a little slack.
Yeah, it's amazing. I say go see it. Go see it.
Yes. I would say absolutely go see it, especially if you really like the staging of characters in conjunction with the score. This movie does an amazing job of what? Why
I was gonna say something, and then I was like, "Shut up, Lyra." Sam's talking.
This movie does an amazing job of making those work beautifully. I mean, I think I saw someone a while ago be like, "Oh, Howl's Moving Castle could be a ballet," and it absolutely could be. And I've mentioned it before. I'll probably mention it again. When score is as good as it is with Howl's Moving Castle, it elevates the movie to an entirely different level. Regardless of the plot, regardless of how the art, when the score is out of this world, the film just goes to an entirely different level, especially for me. I would say go see it. It's a good story. It's well produced. So much thought and love and care went into this project that even if you don't care for slice of life, there's enough going on in the story and the plot and the cinematography that you'll be entertained.
For me, the movie was absolutely beautiful. None of Miyazaki's movies that he like actively works on could be a no on the art side for me. They are all absolutely beautiful. The amount of dedication that goes into each and every one of his films is something that I wish I could do, but know I could never reach. Like that's a pedestal that only he will be able to like fill the spot of, and God forbid the day that something ever happens to him, because like that is his work is groundbreaking and like Myra said earlier, transcendent of time. Like aside from that, this movie in particular isn't my favorite from him, but in saying that, that doesn't mean it's not worth a watch. Like it's not the most exciting. It's not for me asterisk. It focuses a little more on love than most of his stories, and that's something I really like about his stuff, is that he doesn't normally focus on the love aspect. So I don't regret watching it, and I don't think you will either. For me, it's a don't run out and watch it, but like don't avoid it either. Like it is worth at least one watch, just on like the sheer brilliant beauty of it.
So that's three yeses.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
Who wants to do it?
We've had our snacks.
Whoa, you're skipping some stuff.
Thanks for listening to this week's Thanks for listening to this week's episode. If you want more content, or to see some of the things we reference in the show, or just want to say hi, please follow us at wsiwtpodcast on Instagram and Twitter, or at Why Should I Watch That on TikTok and Facebook. We've also got a YouTube channel where you can listen to our episodes and also watch our live show.
All right. One more time.
We've had our snacks.
We've said our facts.
We've told you if you should watch that.
Okay, guys, good night. Have a great time. I'm not in the right mindset. Bye!
Goodbye. Have a beautiful time.
Hello, next month is May, which your humble three nerds in trenchcoat have dubbed Miyazaki May. All features from this month will be either from Miyazaki or Studio Ghibli as a whole. Please listen carefully for a clip of the movie's soundtrack to try and guess which film.